Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by again. And today's going to be very exciting because it's the video that I promised you, the 0 to 60 test, as well as the boost test and the quarter-mile test on this Duramax that we've been building here on the channel. But before I get started, I wanted to mention something. I do appreciate everybody for putting in their orders for the AirDog lift pumps, which I have on my website. Make sure you check that out. Unfortunately, with the way things are going in our economy, our great economy, they are on back order. But the good news here is that the Cummins as well as the Powerstroke, we still have those in stock, and the 2011 plus Duramaxes, those lift pumps are still in stock as well. But I would highly recommend that you guys purchase these while you still can, because again, the way things are going in this world, it seems like everything's on back order. So if you're interested, definitely check that out. I left that link in the description below. But let's just jump right into this video. Let me show you guys a quick clip of my 0 to 60 test before we did any upgrades to this Duramax. This is a 2007.5, and she is a ripper, by the way. But we're gonna go ahead and show you guys the differences before and after. So make sure you stay tuned. So this truck is slightly modified. It has a performance exhaust. So it has an emissions-friendly tune. That's pretty much it on this one right here. We are going to test out the 0 to 60 and the quarter mile as well as the boost. We want to get numbers before I install this Ryan's Diesel Service 64mm turbo. I know a lot of guys just put them on the dyno and see the dyno performance gains. The test that I want to do is a before and after. I want to see if this will actually pick up a gain. So right now we have a stock truck right here. Alright guys, so that was from a dead stop, and she was a little squirrely. I didn't get a lot of traction, but I was able to stay sort of planted. So we're gonna go with that number because we're gonna do it on the same exact strip. So it's gonna be 6.58, so basically 7 seconds, 0 to 60 on a stock tune. Alright, so let's check out our boost really quick. I'm gonna go ahead and just flat foot it. So 26 was our number, so we're gonna go with 26 on the boost. I doubt that we're gonna get anything higher because I'm not sure if the boost PSI actually reads any higher on these Edge CTS3 monitors. But again, we're gonna go ahead and test this out once we put the new turbo in, and let's see what numbers we come up with. But our number is 1509, which really isn't bad. This is so ugly, man. All these parts are disgusting, dirty. I'm gonna do like a before and after, but I think you guys are gonna be pretty impressed with what this all looks like once it's done. Thank you. All right. Push until you hear a click and you know you're good. Like that. So this is your fuel filter. And this right here is your water separator. Go ahead and spin those on. Now that we have the full high-flow HSP bundle kit that we installed here on this truck, as well as the Ryan's Diesel Service 64mm turbo, this is a modified turbo right here. Isn't she a beaut? I also installed these on the channel. These are the high-flow manifolds and up pipes as well. So we should be flowing really good. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a dyno, but this is the best test that I can bring to you guys as of right now. All right, let's hit the road, guys. All right, so we're gonna flat foot it right now. Zero to 60, guys. Oh boy. 0 to 60, guys. I just heard something blow up. All right, guys, let's check it out. I don't see anything there. I just heard a boom. Yep, I'm hearing a whistling noise. Dude! Alright, let's go ahead and limp her home. right, so now that we're in the garage, as you can see right behind me, it blew. The good thing is that I live in the backwoods and I was on a private road, which is really nice, and I was only like 2 seconds from home, so I went ahead and just limped it back to the house, so it really isn't a big deal. But if I had like a 3 to 5 minute drive, I wouldn't drive like that. It would destroy that turbo. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and reset that, make sure that it's good. It's really not a big deal. This stuff happens all the time, but after I did this job, I boost tested it. I did a boost leak test from here. So, you know, I didn't know that this right here was loose. I'd imagine that I left that clamp a little loose and it just blew out. So, no big deal. If you're anything like me, I always carry an 11mm ratchet wrench in my truck in case stuff like this actually happens, where I can do something on the fly instead of trying to limp it home. Unfortunately, I have like 6 diesel trucks, so I don't have an abundance of 11mm, but on my daily trucks, I always have one of these in there. But luckily, I'm in the garage. So we're gonna go ahead and unzip this intercooler pipe off and then reset it. Let's do that. Make sure she's got a good bite on her, so this don't happen again. All right, so we are all good. I put a lot more tension on there, so let's see what happens. So after comparing the numbers, the end result on the boost test is 29 PSI, and before that it was 26 PSI. So our grand total is a +3 PSI extra on the boost, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's awesome. And a lot of it does contribute to the manifolds as well as the air intake, this HSP intake. But I had a very similar truck years ago, just like this one, and just with a simple H&S Minimax tuner, a stock turbo, and a few other little small upgrades, I believe I hit like 34 PSI in that truck. So something's a little off. I could be wrong here, but it just crossed my mind. I still haven't done a vane position relearn on this brand new RDS turbo. So that actually might be our issue. So as far as the boost test goes, that is inconclusive. We're not gonna use those readings. You know what, let me just call the expert right now. I'm gonna call Ryan at Ryan's Diesel Service, and maybe he might be able to give me some better insight on that. Let's do that.
So as I remember correctly, I'd have to look it back up again, but with the map sensor, there's a certain point where the map sensor basically just maxes out and it can't read. I get it. Some guys will say, well, mine still reads perfect. Yes, I've owned those trucks. I've driven those trucks and worked on those trucks too, that have said that. But the fair majority of your trucks, the map sensor is going to max out, where through the edge, it's just not going to read. If you call Edge, you can ask those guys, they'll say the same exact thing, that, look, it's not designed. You have to go and they basically sell like a piggyback, where they're going to actually go and put it in line. Like in your case, you put in your charge pipe. You can plug it in there, it's electronically, and then it will actually display and read through there. The other way you can do it is pick up a cheap, gauge, glow shift or something like that off of Amazon. Basically just tap it right into there with a mechanical gauge. You don't need any electronics or anything like that. We really just run the lines through the firewall, thread it in the back of there, stick it on the dash however you need to stick it on. That's another way that you can also look to and see. Mechanical is always the best way. That's what we always recommend. LV7 guys, we always get LV7 guys that'll call us and say, that's the A #1. Oh, I put a turbo on and, I'm not seeing any change in boost, but I can fry the tires off the back like nobody's business, where I couldn't before. Again, boils down to the sensors, they max at a certain point. You got to remember, from a modified standpoint, you're never designed per se them to do that. So that's one big thing that, like you say, to keep in mind and probably what you got going on.
All right, thanks, Ryan. So basically the test is inconclusive at this point. I just need to go ahead and do this mechanically.
Yeah, yep,
okay.
Correct. That's going to be your best bet, like you say, for getting that accurate number and seeing that. In the stock form, it may have been, pretty close with how you did it with a stock turbo and all your stock stuff on there. But now with all the upgrades you've done and everything, you're probably going to want to go, like you say, either pick up that add-on sensor from Edge or go and pick up a cheap, mechanical gauge. And again, we get this question a lot. Guys call all the time with it is, hey, I put this turbo on and now my old turbo is reading 35 PSI. Well, now I'm only reading 33 PSI, but it's a larger turbo. What the heck's going on? Do I have a boost leak? We always tell guys, obviously, check for a boost leak, verify that. But the one thing you got to remember is that's just a number. Don't be so hung up on that number. It's now more the amount of air that's now being crammed in, and the volume of air that's now being moved. That's where you're going to be making the power from. So we always tell guys, don't be so hung up on that number. The truck's running strong. You can feel it's making power, and it's definitely a noticeable difference. Sounds like everything's working right to me.
Sweet. Hey, I always appreciate your advice, Ryan. Thanks for being on the channel, man.
You betcha.
All right, we'll see you later.
See ya. Bye.
First of all, this truck is an absolute animal after all these upgrades right here. This thing will really put you in your seat, just on the small, minimal stuff that we've done here. But here's the dilemma that I'm in, and I'm sure you guys will understand. This isn't always about YouTube views, guys. I just do this stuff to educate you guys and have a lot of fun, but I'm all about safety too. I don't want anyone getting hurt. What I mean by getting hurt is right on that 0 to 60 boost launch test I just did. You guys can see this wheel right here is now canted, I believe, out. So yeah, I think I bent something, and I'd imagine it's the tie rod. Just by looking at it, it's really hard to tell. What I'm noticing here, and this is my first time eyeballing this, I'm guessing the previous owner jacked up the torsion key so the front end would go a little higher. The angles on this truck are actually pretty off. So me doing a 0 to 60 boost test actually was a really stupid idea. So that first launch, I'm glad that happened, because I'd imagine if we really hooked hard, I probably would have folded that front wheel, and I probably would have went in the ditch. So the test we did, we were kind of all over the road, but we were able to stay straight. But I'd imagine the reason for that is because we didn't have all this extra stuff going on. So we have more horsepower and torque. Obviously, it's going to throw the drivetrain as well as the steering, this junk IFS steering that we have on the Chevy. So we need to upgrade this. Other thing, these tires are complete junk. We would probably end up having a blowout as well. I've been holding out on you guys. I haven't talked about this one yet. Let's open this box up. All right, if you haven't seen a work of art yet, check this out. What you're looking at here is a set of front heavy-duty tie rods coming from PPE Diesel. This will go from an 01 to a 2010 and a 2011 plus. 2500 HD as well as a 3500 HD. These are well needed for any truck, no matter what it is. It could be a gasser, it really doesn't matter. But I highly recommend that you guys install one of these on any one of your trucks if you have a setup like mine. So on my 2007 LBZ Duramax, I have been running these same exact tie rods for about 4+ years, and I have put these things through the ringer, and I've never had an issue one time. I'm actually thinking about getting an account with PPE and putting these on my website so you guys have these available to you in case you want to get a set. But after I got to the house on my second boost test launch or whatever, I started thinking about something here. So I absolutely want to deliver a video to you, but unfortunately, I'm not going to do a 0 to 60 test today or a quarter-mile test. The good thing about this is that I have HD tie rods as well as HSP traction bars here in the garage. And I still need to do a YouTube video on these. I'm going to install these, show you guys how to do that. I'm also going to be putting these through the ringer as we do a before and after test. I'm going to shove a camera underneath there. And again, get on it. And I'll show you guys a good snapshot of what your rear end is actually doing without traction bars. I only have so many hours in the day, but I will be getting to the L5P Duramax with all the PPE goodies as well as the Dodge Cummins. We still got to finish that build. So I'm thinking I'm going to throw a video at you hot and heavy. It's probably going to come at you the very next one, so you guys can't miss it. Hit the notification bell. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to this channel because you're really missing out. But what I'm going to do, since I have some property, I don't have much, but I do have some property here at the house, I'm going to boost launch test this thing again in the dirt. I'm going to go ahead and try to break them in my backyard. That way, you know, it's kind of contained, and I'll be careful. But I'm going to attempt to bend these front tie rods on my property just to show you guys a difference. I'll have cameras set up and everything. So that's going to be the next video. And then once I destroy those tie rods, which I'm pretty sure I will, I'm going to install these heavy duty tie rods and show you guys the difference. We're going to do it again. In turn, I'm going to do it with the HSP traction bars. And then we're also going to be putting some better tires on there before we do any 0 to 60 tests again. Because yeah, that was sketch, man. Since we're talking about future videos, one more thing I'd like to share with you. I haven't forgot about the Powerstroke. We are going to be installing this 64.5 modified turbo from Ryan's Diesel Service as well. And I don't know if I should do a 0 to 60 on that thing. There's big old 38s on a jacked up 8-inch lift kit. I don't know if I want to do a boosted launch with that one. But we will do like a speed difference, you know, maybe even a boost difference and see what we can come up with. I think that would be a little bit funner and a little safer. I'll keep it easy for you guys, but hopefully one day I'll have like a real professional track where I can actually do this. But man, I'm limited. I appreciate you guys watching as well. And again, lift pumps are still available for the LML Duramaxes as well as the Cummins and the Powerstroke. So if you're interested, definitely get them while you still can. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully things get better. I doubt it. But guys, let me know in the comments what you think. Did I make a right decision? I think I did. You guys can tell me I'm stupid if I didn't want to send it anyways. whatever. But that's it for this failed video today. I appreciate you guys watching all the way till the end. We'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned.